Shalom, shalom. I want to start by giving all praises to the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. My name is Brother Napak from the Camp Prophets in Babylon, down here in Tampa, Florida. I want to give double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. I want to get into a short, quick lesson. Really just moving by the Spirit with this lesson. I'm going to call it testimony. We will be demonized, all right? Or somewhere around those lines, man. But this will be a quick, testimony, class that I had with my woman. She had a vision, and it was vivid, a vivid dream, all right? And she just told me about it, and it was about demonization of the prophets, all right? Now, first, before I start this testimony, I want to get this. I want to get Joel chapter 2. I want to start at verse 28. It says, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old man shall dream dreams, your young man shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids, in those days I will pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come." All right. So, a lot of brothers, they will get visions. Their woman will probably get visions, their child, their mother, their father, that will get dreams of things, of the end times, man. All right. And that's the Lord pouring out his spirit upon all flesh. You even see, heathens getting these dreams, man. All right. Because the Lord is showing you, through dreams, making these dreams being our testimonies, man. All right. Making it where, even the heathens, they're getting dreams of their downfall, and that's another way of the Lord, warning the people, man. All right. It's through the dreams you see, what, you have random people, like brothers, 3-year-old child will have a dream and they will tell you about it, and you be like, damn, man, that's the Lord. It just gave my child a dream, and it's about the end times, man. But this dream that my woman had was more so on the demonization of the prophets, man. All right. And when she told me, I was kind of like, damn, but at the same time, we all know that this is going to happen, man. All right. But just to get straight into the dream, she told me, she said it was dark, and there's always dark time, in these visions. You notice it'll always mainly be dark time, and it was dark, and she was running and I was running. She was mainly running with me, but there was people chasing me, and she said that everywhere we would go, there will always be someone ready to kill me specifically. All right. Not her. She was just going, she was just with me, and she just didn't want to leave me. But she said as she was with me, there was a lot of people aiming to assassinate and kill me. All right. And every time, everywhere we turned, there was death right there. And we was, dodging it by, scarcely dodging, death, man. It was right there. All right. And it was really, she was like, it was crazy because, it had to be the Lord that was protecting you, because everything, the way that I was dodging death, no normal people would be able to get out of that. A lot of people would have died from that. But she was saying, so we was running, and she seen you could see on the news that my face, and it would be like other people, but she couldn't really recognize other people, but she specifically knew it was my face up there as being wanted, while everyone else was She couldn't really picture out the faces of everyone else. You don't really know. All right. But she was saying, it was like, people was chasing me to find me, and people were everywhere. It's like everyone that we knew was ready to kill me. All right. And the reason why is because, these devils are going to demonize us so bad. Well, a lot of people are going to kill it, just trying to kill us to get the money off our heads. But a lot of people are just going to really hate our guts, man. All right. But, she told me that, as we was running, we finally found this one place. And I told her, hide in the closet, push her in the closet, and I continued to go. She told me, a person seen her, opened the closet, seen her. They looked at her, and then they just kept running, And she was like, she didn't know what happened to me afterwards, where I went, or nothing. But all she knows, people were still chasing me. And she never found out what happened. All right. But the thing about this dream is that it's not just going to be me, running from these devils, or, it's going to be brothers, It's going to be brethren, and they're going to chase brothers, from the ends of the earth, from everywhere until they get you. All right. And that's the, that's the where the enduring part comes into. All right. You got to endure, man, because it was dudes ready to take our heads off, man. All right. And it was really, from her point of view in the dream, but all over the world, I know for sure, man. There was other prophets, other brothers, that had to deal with the same thing. All right. And brothers had to be demonized. Brothers, had hefty, bounties on their heads, And, we was getting chased, man. Now, let me get this real quick. But yeah, man, it says Matthew chapter 10 and verse 22, it says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. All right. So we're going to be hated amongst all men for the Lord's name's sake, man. Because we preach the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because we keep his teachings. We keep the way of the Lord, man. All right. It says, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. That's what I say. You got to be able to endure, because people are really going to be tracking us down, man. Specifically us. You heard it in a dream where she said, they wasn't really too much worried about her. They didn't really care about her. They were worried about me, the prophet, a prophet of the Lord, man. All right. And I really believe, this dream, was a vision of how it was going to be for brothers in that day. All right. Where you're going to have Esau, Edom, your own people, different nations, tracking us down, man, and specifically us. All right. Because that's their mission. That's their objective. People are going to hate us, man, to the point where, their main focus is to kill us. All right. But, we got to be able to endure through it all. You're going to have people, trying to kill us, your own family, man. Your own family. I'm going to get that as well. Your own family's going to try to kill you. People you will call your brothers or your friends. In that day, a lot of them, the ones that's in the world, a lot of them are going to switch out on you, man. Even some niggas in this truth, man. A lot of these niggas got Judas spirits on them, man, and they're going to switch up on you as well, so you got to be circumspect and keep your head up and your guard up as well, man. All right. Because, not in this day, if you're walking by sight, you're going to die. You got to walk by faith, man. All right, and that's what the scripture says. Walk by faith, not by sight, because through faith we're gonna get through all this, man. Through faith we're gonna be able to know what to do. Through faith we're gonna be able to, maneuver ourselves around death's way, and that's what we were doing. That's what the Lord put that spirit, on me in that dream to be able to maneuver around death, man. All right, and she told me, she's like, it was a miracle of how you was able to survive, these what's the word for it? You was able to survive the predicament that you was in, because it was all odds against, the prophets, man. All odds against the prophets. You're gonna have people, your own family, everyone is just ready to take you out, man. At that split moment, all right. It says, but verse 23, but when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. So that's what we were doing, man. We was running. You had to keep going. Everywhere we would stop, we always have to keep going because, people were trying to persecute us in that city. So we had to go to the next one. And the next one, you got to be able to move. We had to keep moving, man. It says, for verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. All right. So hey, man, every city you go to, man, that's what the Lord had to do. Yahweh Shai, he was being persecuted in cities, so he had to go and flee to the next one, because what the Lord was preaching was truth, and everyone hated the truth. All right. So the Lord had to flee to different cities that he would prophesy and he had to run from those cities and go to a different one. Then they started persecuting him in that city. He had to go to the different one, and that's, that's how it's going to be for the men of the Lord, for the Lord's name's sake. All right. Let me see. And yeah. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 16. It says, for ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. All right, so we're gonna be betrayed, man. All right, in that day, by your own parents, by your brethren, by kinsfolks, friends, people you would think would never, sell you out, will sell you out in that day, man. That's why I say, you must walk by faith, not by sight. Even your guard gotta be up with your own family, you know, with your woman, your best friend, or anybody, man. You gotta walk circumspectly, man, because in this day, it's gonna be a day where everyone's gonna be against the prophets, man. All right, everyone's gonna be against the prophets, and you gotta be able to face the fact that it could be your mom, it could be your woman, it could be your brothers, it could be your sister, and you gotta be able to walk like you can't really trust anyone but the Lord, all right. But that's also why the Lord's giving us the spirit of discernment, man, to be able to discern people, to understand, like, this nigga not for me, man. All right, and that day he gon' buck up and try to seek to destroy me, and that's what we gaining now, that spirit of discernment, and that's a form of spiritual power there, man, to be able to see through people in their lies, people in their disguise, man, to be able to see through it all right, because a lot of people are going to disguise themselves as your friend, but they're going to be seeking to destroy you. All right, that's why it says, and you shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren, and kinsfolks and friends. All right, and they're gonna try to cause you to be put to death, man. Because at the end of the day, it's not gonna be about if you was raised up with them. All right, it's not. No one's gonna care about that anymore, man. All right, now verse 17 says, "And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." Right, so you're gonna be hated of all men for the Lord's name's sake. Because we preach the Lord, we preach the truth. So we're gonna be hated of every man. All right. Everyone's going to seek to destroy us and persecute us. All right. So that's why you got to be able to be, you know, let me actually get that. Or hold on, Slack. Let me finish this right here. It says, but 18, but there shall not an hair of your head perish. All right. And that, like in the vision or the dream, my woman, saw, not one hair on my head was able to perish, man. I was able to escape death by the skin of my teeth, man. All right, not nothing touched me. It says, "In your patience possess ye your souls." All right, so in our patience, our suffering possess our souls, man. All right, so in that dream, I was able to maneuver around death, man. I was able to get around it, and she even said, it was like, it had to be the Lord, man. Because how are you able to, um, able to like get out of the certain situations. She didn't really tell me specifically what I was what I really dodged from, but she was telling me that when death came my way, I was able to escape it, you know and let me see if I can get that. What? 1 second. 1 second. I'm doing a class. Slovakia, not by. Right here. It says 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7 says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." All right, so we're able to walk by the faith and not by the sight. Because we like walking by your sight. You're seeing all the tribulations we're gonna have to go through. You're gonna be what's it called? Discouraged, man. All right, but we walk by the faith, man. So we know, okay, it's hell going over there, but the Spirit's telling me just to go right through it, and I'm gonna be straight. All right. We are guided. The men of the Lord will be guided by the Spirit in that day, man. We'll be guided by the Spirit, and that's why you must walk by faith, because you're going to be guided by the Spirit, and the Spirit may tell you to do some things that will seem and will look really dangerous. It looks like instant death, but the Spirit is telling you to go through there because the Spirit knows, man. If you go right here, man, death ain't gonna touch you, man. All right. Death ain't gonna be able to touch you. And let me see. It says Ephesians 5 verse 15, "See then that ye walks circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." So seeing there, we're walking circumspectly, man. Not as fools, but as wise, man. We're able to understand, okay. And that's why the scripture says wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, man. All right. Because we gonna need to know, man. We're gonna need to have the understanding, the wisdom, to know what to do. All right. And the scriptures tells us what to do in these times, man. All right. So, we walk as wise, man. We walk circumspectly, cautiously, in those days, man. All right. Knowing that any wrong move could result in us dying, man, in our deaths. All right. It says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. So we're redeeming those times because the days, they're evil, man. There's going to be evil days ahead. All right. So we know there's going to be evil times where love is going to be wax cold, where your own family's not going to no longer love you. Your own family's not going to be looking at you as their brother, or they their son, or their uncle, or they're not looking at you as that. They're looking at you as exterminate. They're looking at you as you gotta pay him to death. All right, that's all happened because of him. And that's the type of demonization is gonna happen. We're gonna have in that day, is this all happened, because of him. All right. That's exactly why you must be circumspect in that day. All right, because people could try to be, okay, they could play like they're your friend. All right, they're trying to help you, but they're leading you into death, man. All right, and you must be able to see through it all. Must be able to see through, the deception, man. All right, in that day, it says, "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is." All right, so don't be unwise, man. All right, especially coming into these times, don't be unwise. Use wisdom, use faith, use knowledge, use the things that we've been built up in, this whole time been in truth, man. Use those characteristics, those spiritual characteristics, man. All right. It says, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. So we gotta understand what the will of the Lord is, man. You gotta know, man. All right. It says, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but filled with the Spirit. All right. So we must be filled with the Spirit, man. All right. To know what to do. To know that to be in the Spirit. All right. And let me get that real quick. Wisdom and knowledge. Because I don't want to just quote. My goal right now, man, is not to quote any scriptures, man, but to actually get them. All right. It says, Isaiah 33 and verse 6 says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. So, the wisdom and knowledge is going to be stability of thy times, man. In those end times, in the days we're coming into, wisdom and knowledge is what's going to make us stable, what's going to make us know what to do, what's going to make us understand what to do. Okay, we can't do this and we can't do that, and we're going to know that, through wisdom and knowledge, through the Spirit, man, being filled with the Spirit, all right, man, so brothers, it's gonna be times where we're gonna be demonized to the max, to where people are gonna think that we did things that we would never do. All right, they will look at us as crazy individuals, man. All right, and seek to put us to death, seek our deaths, man. It says, in strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right, so the fear of the Lord is going to be our treasure, man. To be able to, the fact that we fear the Lord. We understand that we do not want to, you don't want to cross the Lord in no way, ever, man. All right? Because we know that we need the Lord, and we know that the Lord is going to be able to protect us, from the things we're coming to, man. All right? You're going to face death, man, but the Lord is going to give you ways to escape. All right? Let me see. Also, yeah. Anyway. It says 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. Actually, I'm gonna get this in my blue letter Bible real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, 13. It says, there have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. All right, so Lord, we're going to be tempted, man. All right, especially the times we're coming to, it's going to be common to man, these kind of temptations, man. All right, but the Lord is faithful, and he's not going to suffer us to be tempted above that what we are able to be tempted. All right. So with the temptation, the Lord's also going to make a way to escape. All right. So Lord's gonna try his man to see where their faith lies, man. And if you pass the test, if you pass the trial, he's gonna give you a way to escape. He's gonna give you a way to, get through it. All right. So we can be able to bear it, man. You know. So hey, man. Lord willing, this lesson was, very edifying to the ones listening in. Lord willing, brothers was edified. You know, I want to give double honor that was an apostle, good millstone. Peace, blessings to the hopeful elect. And I also want to give all praises to the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Shalom, Bakia.